I've started. All right, first part is imaginary numbers. For imaginary questions, I'm going to ask you 3 types of imaginary questions. First is simply like adding or subtracting. So let's say like 6i plus 7 minus 2i minus 10. In this case, we're just combining like terms. So here we have
Wait, on the test you're going to ask 3 questions?
There's 3 questions that would belong into the 1.6 category. So then 6i minus 2i will be 4i. And then 7 minus negative 10, that's a double negative, so plus 17. So first one, super easy, combine like terms.
When do you like FOIL or you like take when you like distribute to both?
When there's multiplication. So the next question.
When it's not a subtraction.
Oh.
3i times 4i plus 7. Guys, you're being recorded, so try not to admit to crimes, okay? So 3i times 4i, and then 3i times 7. So I got to distribute the 3i to both of these. So this is going to be 12i squared plus 21i. Now this is the one thing you have to remember about imaginaries. I'm forcing you to remember for imaginaries. I squared is the same as negative 1. So, yes. Guys, please stop talking. So it's going to be negative 12 plus 21i. So remember, I squared should become a negative 1. So negative is going to be negative 12 plus 21i. I'm going to move on.
What is that called?
I guess this is just multiplying. And then this one. Kobe, I'm recording. Please control yourself. 4i plus 7 negative 6i minus 2. So in this case, I'm going to have to FOIL. So I'll give you a second to copy it. But in this case, I'm going to have to FOIL. So 4i has to be multiplied to negative 6i and negative 2. So that's going to be negative 24i squared minus 8i. Good. Minus 42i. Minus 14. So let's combine some like terms. 24i squared minus 50i minus 14. And because this is I squared, we're going to make this into a negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 24 is a positive 24. Positive 24 plus negative 14 is going to be a positive 10. So 10 minus 50i.
Wait, why?
Yes.
Never mind now.
Okay. Okay. So in 1.6, we're going to have 3 questions. One that's adding and subtracting. One is a simple distribution. The other one's a foiling. Just remember from this section, I squared is negative 1. You should be fine. Negative 24 times negative 1 is positive 24. 24 minus 14 is 10.
Why is it minus the 14?
Because it's negative 14.
Yeah, but this one that has the I.
This one does not have I.
It's saying the first one.
I squared becomes negative 1, so it disappears.
Oh, it just becomes.
Yeah. All right, 1.7 is complete the square. Complete the square. On the quiz, it'll say, please complete the square on this one. Use complete the square on this one. So x squared plus 8x, let's say plus 12 equals 0. Guys, again, I'm recording. Please stop talking. I don't want to spend more time on this than I need to. So, x squared plus 8x plus 12 equals 0. Our first step is to make sure our x's are by itself. So I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. So x squared plus 8x, I'm going to leave a gap there on purpose, equals negative 12. From there, I need to do a plus c on both sides. That plus c is a very specific value. C is going to become, or is, b over 2 squared. Your b value is always the number connected to x to the 1 power. In this case, it's 8. So 8 divided by 2, 4 squared, 16. No, I will not put this on the test. Anything green will not be on the test, I guess. Okay? Wait, I want the color. So then, on the right side, I could easily do negative 12 plus 16. That's a 4, which is good. On the left side, there's two ways to think about it. First is, if you know that before you squared it, you had a 4, your result will be x plus 4 squared. The number before you square is going to be the number before you square this side. So if it was 4 here, it should be 4 here. If you don't remember that, you could always think of it as, what multiplies to 16 that adds to 8? Because you picked the number, it should be 4 and 4. From there, we're going to square root both sides. So this, the square root and the square gets canceled out. So it's x plus 4. And then the square root of 4 is plus or minus 2.
Wait, are we only gonna have like the squared on the outside of the parentheses to like get rid of?
If you do the steps correctly, you should always have the square on the outside.
So it's always gonna be two of the same number, x plus 4 and x plus 4.
Yes, b over 2 squared forces it to be the perfect number.
Because it's always the first.
Yeah. Craig, did you have a question?
Yeah, physics. Why do you put 4 in the parentheses? Not just like do x squared plus 16 equals 5.
There's two ways you can think of it. One, y'all, shh, and Yarn, shh, and Joseph, shh. So, oh, my bad, Jacob. 16, it's going to be, you can think of it as what multiplies to 16 that adds to 8. That should be 4 and 4. Okay? So x plus 4, x plus 4. Yeah, you factor. Another way you can think of it is what you, before you square it, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. Before you square it will be the number that pops up in here. No matter what. If you're doing it correctly, no matter
That was
what.
actual abuse. I'm gonna
Wait,
sue.
what was it?
I'm a Jew. At least one of my relatives is a lawyer.
That was cool.
I'll show you that later after the video. All right. So, in this case, it is x plus 4. Stop talking. Ethan. Shank. Noah. So, x plus 4 equals positive 2, and x plus 4 equals negative 2. So you split and solve because you have a plus minus. Don't forget the plus minus, or you're going to be missing one of the two answers. So it's going to be minus 4 on both sides. X equals to negative 2. And minus 4 on both sides. X equals to negative 6. Good. So remember, you should technically get two answers all the time. That's not necessarily true, but unless it's 0. What's up?
It's like it's not always gonna be.
On the quiz, it'll be two answers. I'll tell you that.
That's why you wait. You said that we weren't getting a quiz, and then like all of a sudden here we are getting a quiz.
I've been saying that for all last week, so if you don't, I don't know what to say to
Yeah,
that.
with like the
I also posted on the Google Classroom, so
I know, but like you said that we're not gonna get one.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did. And then like I heard like people told you that you guys did.
Yeah, people could tell me whatever they want. All right, any question on completed square before I go to the next thing?
Yo,
All right, next one. We're going to do 1.8 quadratic equation. 3x squared plus 4x plus 4. Oh, do 8. Do 8 in the middle. My bad.
wait, what is this called?
This is quadratic equation.
Are you gonna tell us use the quadratic?
Yes.
They were like,
Is there gonna be one where we can use
tomorrow
either
we're
one?
gonna say the question.
Because the quiz is supposed to be
Tomorrow.
10 minutes, I'm not going to put a question like
So
that.
like you have two.
No, it'll be literally 3 questions, so it's 1.6. 1 complete the square, 1 quadratic equation. So 5 questions in total.
There's actually a stat.
The imaginary numbers.
Oh, those are short.
Yeah. Because these could take a while, depending on how good you are. All right. Shh. Guys, I'm a little tired saying quiet every time. Please, just be quiet. Shh. It's not you. Guys in the back. Shh. Okay. So this one, you first identify A, B, and C. So A is going to be your 3, B is your 8, and C is 4. With that in mind, you're going to set it into the equation. You will not get the equation on the quiz, so please know it. Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A.
Oh my god.
That's so annoying. Can you repeat that?
No,
Why?
you're supposed to know it. I taught it to you 2 years ago.
Yeah, but
No, you didn't.
we like locked it out of our
Negative 8 plus or minus. Now I just plug in everything. So negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 3 times 4 all over
problem.
2 times 3. What's up?
Did you change the problem?
I think the 8 was in the middle. I think I put a 4 in first. Yeah, make it 8.
And you add a 3 to it.
Well, I don't know what to say. So then 64 minus 4 times 3 times 4, 12. 12 times 4, 48. So that is going to be negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 16 over 6.
You just leave that or you can simplify that.
Because square root of 16 is a clean number, negative 8 plus or minus 4
Wait, turn off.
over 6.
They're not gone.
Wait.
It's just a wire, I don't know.
Yeah, I had a 3, but
Oh, actually, my cousin's here.
No, I changed this from 4 to 8. If you didn't copy it fast enough, you wouldn't have noticed. Do you have an 8 down here in the middle? Then you're good.
So you don't actually do the equation first, you just simplify.
Say it again.
So you don't do the equation at first, you just
No,
simplify.
not that cousin.
Or like you do it. I don't know how to describe it. You're not like putting that the whole thing into a calculator. You're
No.
breaking it down piece by piece.
I'm breaking it down. So then I'm going to do negative 8 plus 4 over 6 and negative 8 minus 4 over 6. Also, there'll be questions that should be doable without a calculator, just in case you don't have one. So negative 4 over 6, which reduces to negative 2/3. And then negative 12 over 6, which reduces to negative 2.
I can show you.
Nico's the best character I'm working.
Okay, that's a question. That's quadratic equation. Again, your quiz is 5 questions. You don't want to make mistakes.
I just know the character.
Yes.
5 questions.
Yes, 5 questions. It's only 10 minutes.
I never knew this.
We start chapter 2 finally.
She's in for her cousin.
Wait,
Why don't-
How is everyone here?
Is this?
I was just calling about it.
Quiz, and then we don't
I wish
have
they didn't bring her back.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Why would we start?
Really cool if she stayed.